Eyewitness News.
Police in Danbury arrested 3 people yesterday, all on drug charges. This morning, a final farewell is planned for the 2 Bristol police officers killed in the line of duty. In Norwich, an investigation underway after a car crashed into a building. Take a look at this picture. The question of how much in additional fines conspiracy theorist Alex Jones will be hit with is back up for debate in court. The FAA dealing with the computer outage. Roger Susanna was just on the breaking news desk talking about that. Audrey Russo is on the way to Bradley International Airport. I just checked the flight board. We have at least 12 delays reported right now at Bradley. We continue to learn more about an active shooter situation at an Indiana Walmart. Nearly a dozen large banks have now taken action to prevent another bank failure.
Let's bring it on.
This is it. Today's the day.
Today is the day. Today's the day you hit me, right?
Ready?
Ready? Oh! She's crazy.
He's always bright and cheery and
You're bright and cheery. Vinny just celebrated his 90th birthday.
Go, Caitlin. Go, Caitlin.
Never.
Okay, we're gonna do 100.
100.
Oh boy.
What's the basic one?
100.
Good luck.
The CEO of TikTok just went through more than 5 hours of congressional questioning on the security of the popular social media app. So Tech and his sweet ride seemed to be the team's good luck charm. They took Saturday's game against Middle Tennessee 40-24. And I don't know. Do you think we could get a ride like that around the studio?
Right.
An event like this takes so much planning. Can you give us a little bit of insight as to what that entails?
Sure.
We might finally get to say goodbye to those obnoxious spam text messages. The FCC cracking down on robo-texts. Happening today, the state attorney general will make a major announcement on robocall enforcement.
Did you find any forsythia?
You know, I'm going to have to Google that one, Scott. You've got the green thumb. I don't. Coronavirus task force officials are saying that they are seeing signs social distancing is helping to slow the spread of the virus.
Well, thank you. I missed you both, too.
Meh.
Yeah, it was. Oh, let's go to the map, shall we?
Just take a look. Unprecedented military action at a time of peace. It's now 6:43. I'm Caitlin Francis, live from the breaking news desk, where we've learned more information about the latest unidentified object shot down flying over the U.S. This is fun for the whole family. There's lots of stuff to do and see out here. We're going to have much more coming up in our next half hour. You definitely don't want to miss it. And I'm promising you that I'm going to actually go fishing. What is the criteria that we would have to meet for this to be considered a blizzard?
A blizzard. Let's go to the graphic.
I do that all the time. Right? Yeah,
Let's
it works.
See. Let's wiggle on over to traffic. There you go.
Now, State Representative Robin Comey is breaking her silence after crashing her car Thursday night in Hartford and subsequently being formally charged with operating a vehicle under the influence. Kara, it was actually a very quick appearance, only about 30 seconds, and Kent Mawhinney's attorneys entered not guilty pleas on behalf of their client. Let's take a look inside. This is
Oh, it's been huge. I don't burn any oil.
Mike Royce is crediting his wood boiler. He's been burning wood to heat his home for 15 years. He says it saves him a ton of money, especially in the winter. Cameron Mattig is the general manager at Superior Hearth Spas and Leisure in Avon, where they sell wooden pellet stoves and all the accessories that go along with each.
Yeah, the number one reason why we see people come to us is to save money with the rising cost of oil, natural gas, electric costs. It's a great way to save some money on your bills.
Experts say those savings might take a bit to see, but most people do save money on home heating with wooden pellet stoves. In fact, bioenergy expert Dr. Daniel Chokas with Penn State says, quote, people switching from fuel oil to cordwood or wood pellets can expect to see their monthly heating bills drop by over 50%. There are upfront costs. The stove itself, which experts say can range in price between $1,300 and $5,500 for certain models, then getting the proper permits, plus installation fees and other supplies like venting materials. Royce says he now pays significantly less than when he was using oil heat, in part because he buys his wood in bulk, something he recommends.
If you had to pay for it, it'd be a log truck load of wood somewhere between $800 and $1,000. Still a good deal. You're still saving a lot.
And pellets range between $350 and $500 a ton. The average homeowner with a pellet stove uses 2 to 3 tons per season. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, this year the average homeowner will use 488 gallons of oil in the colder months. And at the current average now of $4.50 per gallon, that would be an expense of $2,196. So even if you're paying the maximum for pellets, you'd still see a savings of almost $700. Finding out individual savings is not as complicated as you think.
The easiest way that I've been able to explain it to people is by using tools like a fuel cost comparison calculator. It will break it down into numbers that are very easy to figure out your rough percentage of savings.
And there's a federal tax credit you can apply for right now for qualifying wood and pellet units for a $2,000 credit, which will allow people to recoup costs quicker.
This is the best way.
I'm Caitlin Francis, Channel 3 Eyewitness News. Looking for love in 2023 could be as easy as picking up your phone. Dating apps have become the norm. And professional matchmaker Maria Abgatidis says they're not going anywhere.
Now to not be online is to not have an email. It's the equivalent.
But she also says people are literally tired of swiping.
We're currently experiencing extreme dating fatigue wave, where people just don't want to spend any more time online. They just want to go out.
Laura Thompson is a full-time nurse going back to school and dating. She says getting off the apps is sometimes hard to do.
I think it's a lot easier to dismiss people and just you kind of move on to the next person. It's like those dopamine hits when you're swiping.
But people do have success online. A lot of it.
I think it's like something like more than 60% of relationships started online.
That's digital dating. But for Laura Thompson, she knows both digital and what experts call analog dating. And she says there are pros and cons to both.
The analog dating, your circle can get pretty small versus, the digital dating, your circle expands. You get to see people, meet people who you wouldn't necessarily meet versus like if they're just in a different town, if they're in a different area. You can expand your circle a little bit better that way.
Matchmaker Maria says there are other aspects of dating that have changed as well. She says those deal breakers have also changed. Prior to 2016, the number one deal breaker in dating was always smoking. Now smoking is number 2 for most people.
In 2021, the next big deal breaker was, are you vaccinated? And it wasn't just us. OkCupid, Hinge, a lot of online dating apps started coming out with emojis that showed if you were vaccinated or not. So that became the new deal breaker. Now, in 2023, and this actually started in the summer of 2022, the new deal breaker, and it goes across the spectrum, is your stance on a woman's right to a full health care.
And as people get more comfortable coming out of the pandemic, more casual dates have taken over dinner and cocktails. And if you're one of the people swiping for a soulmate, experts say, put the phone down, hold your friends accountable, and go out.
I think it's going to get better. I think part of it is, when you go out with friends and everything, I think people do tend to just stick with their friend group. We don't go off and mingle with other people at the bar like you used to. But I think coming out of the pandemic, maybe that'll start to get better again.
I'm Caitlin Francis, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.